What is up, guys? Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day out there. Missed you guys. I was on a bit of a vacation. It was actually our honeymoon, believe it or not. I didn't share that out a whole lot. If you follow me on social, you probably kept up to me on Snapchat, and I didn't get on Twitter too much, but and I couldn't use Instagram because it doesn't work with Wi-Fi on my iPhone. Totally bizarre, but hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I'm really, really happy to be back with you tonight. Hopefully the audio and the video is going to comply. I think we've got a pile of content tonight. I'll try not to butcher it up too bad. I was out for quite a bit, so I apologize in advance as I probably missed some of your videos. I tried to catch up on my YouTube feed, but it was just too much. I didn't watch YouTube videos while I was on my honeymoon. I did keep up with work a little bit and some of the Make Me community stuff, but I tried to disconnect a little bit. It was kind of nice. So we have a bunch of people with us. We've got Nick is here, Beginner's Tech, Royd, Glitch is here, Zach's here, Ken's here. Awesome stuff. And Ken said, congrats on the 50th. Thank you, Ken. This is indeed our 50th live episode. Unbelievable how time flies. Even with the break in the summertime, we managed it. 50, that's a big number. It sort of crept up on me. I always have a blast with you guys. Hopefully you have a fun time tonight. Hopefully we get through some cool stuff and maybe show you guys some YouTube channels and some news that you maybe didn't know about. For those of you new to the broadcast, each week I try and go over lots of items from the maker and tech community, and I try and share out members' videos as much as possible, things that would interest us, things that should get some exposure that maybe don't, some things that maybe have too much exposure too. Everything goes here. Awesome stuff, guys. Thanks for the audio and thank you for the updates, guys. Truly appreciate it. We are in good shape. I did change the streaming settings a little bit again tonight. I'm trying to make the broadcast incrementally. I experiment with new things every week, and I've upped the bitrate a little bit, so we are only coming in 720p. That's a limitation of my bandwidth, but hopefully I can keep tweaking it and get it the best it can be, audio and video wise. Fighting with my webcam like crazy too. This C920 default software sucks. Most amazing webcam ever, but the firmware is such a pain in the butt. Unbelievable. Keeps resetting my levels. Like white balance goes off and exposure, you name it. It just... Anyway, that's my rant on that. Let's go ahead and get started. As usual, viewer comments throughout. Throw them in the chat. I try and keep up the best I can, guys, but I do skim the chat. I do miss things, and I apologize. I'm not ignoring anyone. I just miss them. It's hard to do the live as well as read the chat. We'll do some tech news tonight, some stuff on 3D printing, some viewer challenge stuff, a bunch of stuff from the community of hackers, makers, engineers, you name it. Everything goes. From the shop this week, a sneak peek of what you can expect to see on the channel. We will do a small tech tip of the week, and that will take us into the broadcast. Awesome. Things with too much exposure. Yeah, it is cold up here. Awesome. Tech news this week. Holy smokes, there's a pile of stuff. So this one, unless you've been under a rock, you probably heard lots about the Justice Department and FBI and everyone involved with Apple, the DOJ. Apple must comply with the FBI request to put in backdoors in the operating system and software. Unbelievable. This is just lunacy in today's day and age. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out. There's been some resistance, as there should be. There's also been some support from high levels. I think we maybe have some slides on it. I'm not sure. Not a slippery slope, but a jump off the cliff. Awesome. There's coverage on this everywhere. Throw your 2 cents in the chat. Let me know what you think. But the fact putting backdoors purposely into software so that justice departments and law enforcers can easily access that information, this is not a slippery slope. This is indeed a jump off a cliff. Unbelievable that someone would really have the audacity to put this out there as a as a court order. This is beyond a slippery slope, so I'll be interested to see how this plays out in the future. I know what I think about it. I'd like to know what you guys think, but putting backdoors purposely into software, that opens up one wicked Pandora's box, and we'll see how it goes. Virgin Galactic's new Spaceship 2, I love it. I can't say enough about it. I'm so glad to see Spaceship 2, the new version, come out, roll out. The Unity, it's called. It's a beautiful craft, much similar looking to the original, except I love the back end of it, all that nice chrome around the engine cowling. Very, very neat. Virgin Galactic all over the news on this. You can find it on their channel here, where Professor Stephen Hawking did his little speech and endorsement and announced his plans to take a flight. This is not new. This was announced before, but now that Virgin Galactic can get back in the game, as we knew they would, it'd be interesting to see whether Professor Hawking actually flies. Wouldn't that be nuts, guys? Unbelievable. I wish them all the best. It's totally neat stuff. I don't know what to say on this. I'm a huge supporter. I love seeing the competition. I love seeing where it's going. It was too bad that they had a setback. They had an accident. These things happen in aviation and especially space. Unbelievable what they've done. They've made it better. They solved that problem. We'll see what happens. I wish them all the best. If you're this is kind of iconic. This week in aviation history was actually the demise of the Avro Arrow. Pretty much all Canadians are familiar with this, probably in the US too. Canadians have really, really jumped all over this. It was a pretty fantastic aircraft that met a political demise and was completely dismantled and never to be seen or produced again. Don't know what it ever would have been, but it was one damn cool looking aircraft at the time. And this week in history, February 20th, 1959, this amazing jet disappeared. And lots of conversation. Let's go. Free TV for life. This is in Canadian news right now, and I think you'll see this a lot more in the US. This is interesting. Mainstream media, this is CBC News, did an article on Android streaming boxes, Android TV. Basically, same thing as what I put out on the video using Kodi OpenELEC on the Raspberry Pi, except I left off some of the streaming stuff. Mainstream media has put out these news articles indicating that it actually might be legal to have these streaming boxes and use them, because it falls into a legal gray area whereby you're not actually according to them, you're not actually downloading the content, you're just streaming it. So it only lives fleetingly. It's only displayed and it's gone, each frame. And it falls into this weird gray area in the law. I don't think they're going to have as much luck fighting this as not a copyright infringement as they think they will. And it's really funny to see mainstream media, CBC News and other news outlets pick this up, that reporting on it, that it actually might be legal. I'll admit, you guys have seen the video. I did a Raspberry Pi build using OpenELEC for streaming. I didn't specifically endorse the streaming applications from the sources that you maybe should or shouldn't use, but I'm gonna be really interested. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think on this. Is it legal, like actually legal, or is this is a losing battle streaming? Like, these are brand new movies and TV and things that maybe weren't overly intended to be streamed free. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Crazy stuff. This week, the Canon EOS 80D was announced, released, popularized. This is the predecessor to the camera that I use for my videos now. I've only had it a few months and I simply love this thing. Well, Canon stepped it up and produced the 80D, which is basically the 70D but a little bit better. And I thought this worthy of noting because the 70D that I got is widely known as the best vlogging YouTube video camera, overall video DSLR in the $1,000 price range out there. It's There's very few that'll touch it because of the autofocus system on it. Pretty cool to see another camera come out. It's not like there's going to be a price war on it, but I thought it worthy of note because we do have a lot of content creators that watch these live shows, so I thought it worthy of note. And some Apple conversation. Lori Meeks says hi. Hey, Lori Meeks, good to have you here. I try and keep up on the chat whenever I can, guys, but it's getting... And Glitch said one of the many cases where the tech is moving faster than any law physically can. Yeah, totally agree. Tainted Camper is here. Hey, Tainted Camper. Some new names with us today. All right, carry on. This was a lot of coverage in the 3D printing world in the last 3 to 4 weeks on people stealing. The titles of the articles are people stealing other people's 3D printed designs. Not that button. Not that button. There we go. Sorry, guys. Technical. Essentially, the conversation has been around people who sell 3D printed items on eBay and Etsy and other places, where they've downloaded the STLs from Thingiverse and they're making them available for sale. And in this case, it's Maker's Muse channel. I thought he did a great job on the video. A lot of discussion around this. Is it okay for people to sell other people's STLs, which they have posted up completely publicly available on Thingiverse? This is a really gray area because when you print something, it is transformative in nature. And I'd like to know what you guys think. Throw it in the chat. Let me know what you guys think of, is it okay to go ahead and sell someone else's 3D printed design if you have a 3D printer? I'll throw my 2 cents in here and just make it open because that's what I do here. I think if you put anything out on a design available, Creative Commons or otherwise, you need to expect that this is going to happen. If you truly don't want anyone taking your design, reproducing it, whether it be for sale or giveaway or whatever, don't put it out there on the internet. It's just that simple. It's when you put it out there, yes, you shouldn't lose all rights to everything, but you do. It's just that simple. If you want to protect something, keep it in your pocket and don't share it, which I don't advocate either. I like sharing things, but a lot of discussion on this all over Twitter in the last couple of weeks. Everybody's all up in arms about people selling 3D printed designs. I think it's a little crazy, but we'll see. See how it goes. I just wanted to share this just because Mashable reported on this yesterday. Don't Instagram yourself with a pile of cash if you're just declaring bankruptcy. The rapper 50 Cent, who publicly went down in kind of flames over a bankruptcy deal, is now posting a whole pile of pictures of himself with a whole pile of cash. Tech tip of the week. Don't do that. If you're declaring bankruptcy, don't post a whole pile of cash sitting. Like, this is a whole bunch of pictures, by the way. They're just foolish. I'd like to see how this plays out. Not tech related, but it kind of is. Social media, these pictures get out there and live forever. The Department of Justice and the lawyers will find you. Crazy. And I'm just going to catch up on the chat real quick. Glitch said same. If it's open source, Creative Commons, then expect for someone to profit from it. I think that's a great way to word it, Glitch. Expect that. May not be 100% right, but expect it. It's just that simple. Ronan said the Avro story is intense. 15,000 people unemployed within months. Yeah, there was actually, it was like 9,000 of those people were unemployed within hours. It just got canned same day and then dismantled rapidly, including the Iroquois engine program, the whole bit. Nuts. Unbelievable stuff. Okie dokie. That's enough silly 50 cent stuff. What else we got? This is interesting for anyone who's into radio receiving and software-defined radios. As some of you know, I am a bit of an SDR enthusiast. This was announced on rtlsdr.com today. A budget hack RF $150 HackRF clone is potentially coming. If you read the article and check out the website, it's a little bit wishy-washy whether this is going to happen, but it's interesting to see because the HackRF is an amazing device, and I'll be honest, the reason I don't have one, can't afford it. They're too expensive. I would love to play with one. It's an STR, same as the dongles I have, except with a wider frequency range and transmit capability. Really high quality devices. Interesting to see that the clones are coming. I don't know whether, I haven't decided whether it's a good thing or not, because HackRF really led the way and developed it from the ground up. So I'd hate to see if it was stolen, but because it wasn't I don't think it was a fully open source type project. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I could be way off, but I think it was closed source. So it would really suck if it was stolen, but if it wasn't, and this is just a new competitive device for $150, geez, that's a heck of a deal. We're getting down into the price range where this is becoming affordable for enthusiasts. Nutty. So anyway, you can check that out on rtlstr.com. Amazing site. All the best news on RTL SDRs, or SDR in general. Anything that happens in radio receiving or hacking, you can find it there. Awesome site. I should have thrown it in the show notes, guys. Glitch said, but the price is more accessible to others. Absolutely, I totally agree. And yeah, can't spend $400 on a HackRF. Me either. Couldn't even come close. Could never justify buying one. I couldn't justify even using the AdSense earnings or anything, because the ROI for you guys just wouldn't have been there unless I made a whole video series. I couldn't justify spending that much money on one component. I just couldn't make enough good content for you guys out of that unless I really went nuts on it. Crazy. And perfect. 2 reasons eye tracking is the future of VR. You can find this on the CNET channel. CNET, if you're not subscribed to them, you probably should be. A lot of info, VR, virtual reality and augmented reality, all over the news lately, and I've talked on it here so many times. I'm sure we will again. They're taking it kind of one step further, and I haven't seen a lot of this where they're doing the eye tracking, which is a really amazing concept, and it opens up the door to only having certain areas of the screen hyper pixelated, bad terminology, but really high resolution just where you're looking, or being able to look around in space without turning your head, or maintain eye contact with and interact with things just more like what you would in real life. Like we maintain eye contact with people when we talk to them. It opens up a pretty cool door for gaming and interactivity. I'd like to see how this plays out. It's pretty cool stuff. And Arthur is here. Hey, Arthur, good to have you here. Blam. Big news this week. The SES-9 satellite is scheduled to take off. This is a Boeing-built satellite, a communication satellite that I think will be living over Asia, if I've got that right. It's taking it off on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket in a couple of days, which is, as of earlier, it is a 60% go for Wednesday's launch at 6:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully they get this thing off. But the interesting thing, and maybe you guys can help me, I see a lot of dispute on whether or not they're going to barge land this or make an attempt to land the first stage. The initial information was that because of the delay of this satellite, they couldn't lift it into higher orbit slowly using the propellant, so they were going to try and get it higher with the boost stage and take it into a much higher orbit and save like a month or 2 months worth of climbing this thing. But I see on Twitter today, there's a lot of chatter about the fact that the barge has left Port Canaveral and is heading out. So let me know. Are they planning? I couldn't find this, whether or not a definitive answer. Are they going to try and land the first stage vertically again? Or whether they're just going to splash this one. Let me know, guys. I couldn't find the answer, but I didn't spend enough time looking for it. And lots of VR chatter. Awesome stuff, guys. Carrying on. That is it for our news. Cheers, guys. One of these days I'll get around to making some homebrew beer again, but sorry guys, it's store-bought this week. The Electronics Show is here. Holy smokes, we got lots of new faces. Hey, the Electronics Show. Okie dokie. Onward and upward, guys. Community support time. Remember, guys, if you like this video or like the channel, please consider hitting a thumbs up down below. And if you're new here and haven't seen these videos before, please consider hitting a subscribe on the channel. You might find something of interest. You can also share the video out. I would truly appreciate it. If you'd like to take it to the next step, you can find my Patreon link below, and scrolling across the bottom of your screen is the people who currently support me on Patreon. Those are the people that bring this live show to you every week directly. The Patreon funds contribute to several things on this channel, only channel stuff, and the big one right now is paying for the bandwidth to bring this live show to you, because my ISP is ridiculous for any upload bandwidth. One of these days we'll get it stepped up to a full HD quality. As a Patreon, you get access to my extras videos. The last one was the extras video editing, how I edit my videos, and some background tips and tricks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I am working on something. I can't tell you guys the next extras video because I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to pull it off. I have 3 different plans for an extras video in the next, hopefully in the next 7 days. But the one I really want to do is a little tricky, so hopefully I can pull it off. If not, doesn't matter. I'll move on to the next concept. I have lots of good ideas, and those are for patrons only. And if you haven't seen them and you're a Patreon supporter, remember you go to the makeme.org forum and you have a private area there. If you can't access it, just message me. Awesome stuff. And Tainted Camper said I really like to homebrew. Not done it in a while though. Yeah, it's been a while for me too. I used to do homebrew on this live show every week. Not brew it, but that was my drink beside me. But I haven't brewed a batch in so darn long. And Glitch says he still has to watch that one. Cool beans. Okie dokie. Onward and upward. Community announcements. This is a little bit of a departure for the live show. So this is something that's not, well, I'll go into the context of it. This is not directly the makeme.org community or channel yet, but it's something I'm looking into. So for those of you who don't know, in Canada, we have a large population, or like a small population, that lives way up north of 60. The Canadians will know what north of 60 is. This area is basically living under the poverty line. Yes, it is actually touted as, here's the tags, poverty in Canada. This is a Facebook group that I ran across. It's run by a very nice woman and a lot of members that is doing support for these northern communities. And it's something I wanted to investigate. Not necessarily, this is all on my own, guys. This is just, I want to put it out there and see if any of you want to get involved, because with the Without Borders project and stuff, if you're interested, you can hit me up on the socials and we'll see whether we can integrate this into the content, or maybe we can help out a little bit. Maybe not directly giving money and sending foodstuffs up there. That's the big thing right now. Like, believe it or not, a head of lettuce is like $22 up there because the transportation is retarded. But I would like to actually get involved with a little bit of the tech side and maybe a little bit of monetary support, maybe on my own, not the channel funds, but something I thought you might be interested in knowing about. There is a large population in the Canadian North that is under the poverty line, so it just struck me as something that I personally am going to get involved in as soon as I research this a little bit more to determine. Like, I'm always dubious of these Facebook groups and stuff. This one it does seem to be legit, but I have a contact in Johaven, which is way the heck up there, and I'm going to just check some of the facts and see how I can help out. So, yeah, I won't go into the details. You can read this on the replay if you want, but there's a lot of emergency situations where legitimately people are out of food and basic things of life, and I think they need some technical education supplies. So I'm gonna see. I could probably help out with some Raspberry Pi stuff. That might go along good. We'll see. Anyway, Ken says north of 60, been there, done that a number of times. I figured there was at least one Canuck that would know about north of 60. Marble Music said, do you know how to code? I know how to code some things. I can do basics in C++. For sure. I do Arduino code, and there was a video this week, which we'll cover in a minute. Anyway. Next up, what have we got, guys? Viewer challenge for this week. Each week, I like showing off what you guys are making. You can just hit me up on any of the socials, which you can find in the description below. The best one is to hit me up on the G Plus community. You can find it linked below, as well as from the makeme.org sites. This is what it looks like. Standard G Plus community, 595 members. Cool stuff, guys. We got a pile of people in the group, and there's some, each week there's some cool projects and stuff posted. This is where I like to share it. Joshua Jared shared with us, awesome project. I simply love it. Took an old router lying around, flashed it with the DDWRT software, which is a firmware, open source style firmware for these routers, and turned it into essentially a Wi-Fi dongle, more or less. It allowed him Wi-Fi access for his Pi because he didn't have one. Totally cool. Love it. Hacking at its best. Really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Marble Music said, what language does Arduino use? It's C++, more or less. Close enough. And let us roll. Head hurts. I've been to Fort Good Hope and Inuvik, both interesting places. Can't say I had vacation there, though. That is right up there. That is the area that these places are having trouble. Awesome stuff. Beginner's Tech's having trouble watching the stream because his internet's trouble. Sorry about that. Marco Arduino channel shared in the G Plus group a step-by-step guide to fetching a web page with a Node MCU ESP8266. This is a uber cheap little Wi-Fi device for IoT, but is also a microcontroller. Unbelievable little piece of tech. Love seeing these projects. I have a couple in mind, but I have not used my ESP8266 yet. I'm a complete failure. I have multiple in the bin and have not used them. One of these days, I'm going to capitalize on all these awesome projects and take some of the code and make use of it. Educates.tv, a channel on YouTube, as well as you can find this linked in the G Plus community. He shared his Arduino weather station project that can run us on a simple AA battery for almost a year. There are 2 AA batteries. He puts this thing into deep sleep mode and has the display freeze, no backlight, and has got the power consumption way down. He records or reports temperature, humidity, and pressure. Unbelievable, cool little project, bare bones. You don't need an Arduino board to even do it. It's just the ATMEL 328. Very cool. Loved it. Really, I love these projects. It's so neat to see what we can do with simple tech. Plus, that particular one, I love the Nokia 5110 LCDs, the old cell phone displays. As you guys know, I just love those things. One of my favorite components. Marble Music said, do you use any 3D software? Define 3D software. Yeah, I do 3D printing. I use SketchUp to design stuff. I use Repetier Host to print them. And like Mesh Mixer and Mesh Lab and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff for processing. I got some videos on my channel. Check them out. And Zach said he got it connected to his network, and that is all. Yeah, I haven't even gone that far, Zach. I have not even fired up an ESP8266 yet. I'm kind of a failure that way. It's pretty sad that I haven't played with one yet when they've been like mainstream for what, a year and a half, almost 2 years now. Crazy. Okie dokie. What else we got, guys? How are we doing for time? Half an hour in. We're good. Bunch of stuff from the community. This is everything goes here, guys. It's 3D printing, hackers, makers, Arduino, Raspberry Pi, amateur radio, RC. It all goes here. A robot that runs and swims like a salamander. I've seen this project before, but this last week it came out as a TED Talk on the TED YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to TED, you really should be. I love this thing. It is an amazing robotics platform. They've taken and mimicked the movements of a salamander, the small little lizards, and done it so that the thing has locomotion on land, but as well as swims underwater. Totally neat robotics project. It's creepy cool, and they've done an amazing job. Where this is headed with robotics and finally doing a lot more patterning from nature makes so much more sense to me. I like my wheeled robots, and well, we'll touch on that later, but wheels just make no sense. We didn't evolve round feet. We didn't evolve wheels. We evolved all these creative locomotion methods and these robotics. It's hard to mimic, and they've done such an awesome job. Check out the TED Talk, guys. You'll love it. I showed this once before. 3D printed jet engine. This is Amazing DIY Projects, the YouTube channel. It seems to be picking up some following now. This is basically a 3D printed turbine engine. Slightly not entirely plastic, of course, but it does a 15-minute run with this thing. And yes, it does run, and successfully. It goes over some of the bearing stuff. Amazing, amazing projects. We're really, this is the stuff that I was waiting for. Everybody said 3D printing, yeah, it's a neat thing and it's good for rapid prototyping, but no, you could never make any product that would last in any application. People truly are taking it and using them for forms and combining it with other tech and making these projects that are pretty amazing, pushing the limits. Really cool stuff. Loved it. And Hedert said, very interesting seeing that thing move through water. Yeah, that was totally cool. I loved it. And Glitch said he ran that turbine up to 40,000 RPM in his latest video. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I thought there was one more video after this one. This project just baffled me. I loved it. I love turbine engines. As you guys know, I did build a DIY gas turbine a long time ago, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Awesome. Next up, Mr. Carlson's Lab, another channel I subscribe to. I don't know whether I've ever shared his channel here before, but I have now. He did an awesome video on capacitors, which capacitor to use in what application, and what the nature of different capacitors are. This is a huge topic, and he did a really good job of covering a lot of information in a 24-minute video. So if you're into designing electronic circuits or just want to understand more about capacitors, what they do and what they consist of, awesome video. You'll love it. Good for any maker. Andre Russo, awesome channel, love it. Andre did an RC airplane stand. If you're into RC aircraft, he made a wicked little stand for his aircraft. I love Andre's channel. I love what he's doing. He's got some really high quality videos, doing a really good job, really stepping it up. Andre is part of the flight test community crew, actually. He's associated directly with flight test. Does an awesome job of sharing their content as well. Check out his channel. And on that note, Flight Test, one of my favorite channels on YouTube. They make RC aircraft and designs and a lot of open source, a lot of STEM stuff now. They have a whole education program now. They did recently the FT Sparrow. If you're interested in getting into RC planes, you gotta check out the Flight Test channel. They build almost everything out of foam board, Dollar Tree foam board, so you can build these aircraft next to nothing. Not one of their airframes, hardly, like all the standard size stuff, none of them cost more than $5 to create, and then some basic electronics and you're in the air. Awesome stuff for people with kids. Awesome projects. Simply love it. Andre is here. Hey, Andre. Came out of the woodwork, did you? The Sparrow, along with 3 others, is on my list of foam board planes to build this spring. Yeah, mine too. I don't know whether I'm going to do the Sparrow personally. I don't think I will. I have too many others. Andre can maybe throw it in the chat. I always forget. It's the Explorer, the pusher big snouted thing like my EPP. I saw a conversion or a new version of that with a twin boom tail and an A tail, not a V tail, on the Flight Test Facebook page the other day, and I instantly fell in love. I've got to make that. I think that thing is going to be a superstar of an aircraft. This is what Flight Test puts these designs out there. People put spins on them. There's so many variants to make. I could be building aircraft forever, but that twin-tailed Explorer, I've got to do it. I wish I had a picture of that. I should have saved it, guys. Andre said, thanks for the tips on the CNC. You're welcome, Andre. Andre and I were talking on Twitter earlier today. You are absolutely welcome. I help when I can. The Hacksmith. If you're not subscribed to the Hacksmith, you should be. This is James Hobson. He's not far from me. Amazing YouTube channel. He did a Call of Duty exoskeleton update. He is working on his legs on the exoskeleton. He's been in the mainstream media a huge amount here in Canada. He's doing an awesome job. I wish him all the best, and I can't wait to get down and visit his shop again, hopefully this summer. I love what he's doing. Crazy stuff. Neat robotics with pneumatics. If you're into robotics in general, like human robotics, and like compressed air and cool tools, check him out. You'll love it. And Glitch said the Explorer is the first on my list. Dihedral being a 3-channel plane, it should make for a great beginner plane. It absolutely would, no question. And it's easy to take the dihedral out and just do a flat wing and make it into a real beast. Awesome. Next up, EV blog. I think most of you guys are subscribed to the EV blog. Dave Jones, if not, you should be. He announced his newsletter and a bit of an upcoming giveaway. I thought this worthy of sharing because newsletters, I think, are highly underrated. I started my mailing list just a couple of months ago. Appreciate all of you that have signed up. Dave started his as well. I think he's already sent some stuff out. I have not. But it's the kind of thing, if you want to stay up to date with a cool maker, it's a good way to do it as long as it's the right people for a mailing list. And I think Dave is, because you don't want to end up having your email address sold and getting spam. I don't think he'll ever do that, and I can promise I won't. So, yeah, cool stuff. Cool announcement. Jose is here. Hello, Jose. McBung said he built this FT Storch last year and haven't got around to flying it. That is a cool looking aircraft. I saw the Storch and I thought it would be a fun plane to fly. It was on my list too. There's too many on my list. If I ever finish the X-Carve and possibly get a laser set up, I've got to get cutting some flight test planes. I just have to. I just got to get so many projects, guys. So many projects. Tinkernut, awesome channel on YouTube. One of the good ones out there. How to make a basic email server. This is an awesome video if you're interested in things to do with your Raspberry Pi or other basic. You can do this on any old PC. It was really neat to see this. Something I like the concept of running your own email server and controlling your own data. I obviously have my own email server for my websites, but I don't directly control it. It's not under my roof. So I thought this was pretty cool. Neat little project. Loved it. It was one that I was kind of hoping he'd do, so I really enjoyed it. And Ken said that's what spam filters are for. Yeah, but that's no fun. It's no fun if people steal your email or don't steal it, sell it. A lot of people sell their email lists that have newsletters. It's very common practice. I can promise you guys I'll never do that. Too much work in the way of projects. Yeah. Awesome stuff. David Watts, who I don't think is with us tonight unless I missed him. It's totally possible. He shared with us his DS3231 real-time clock module. This is an RTC. So a real-time clock, for those of you who don't know, is a device that you add into any basic microcontroller circuit or mainly microcontrollers or any kind of component to keep good track of time, because they don't do that well, and they don't do that when they're shut off, where the RTC will. And awesome little module. He showed how to integrate it, how it works, how to do the code. It was awesome. It was something I really struggled with early on. When I did the high altitude balloon project, I had to have a real-time clock for the data logger, and it was my first try with one. And although I didn't use the same one David did, I had a lot of trouble with my I2C real-time clock. And I remember struggling quite a bit to get that thing to work right, to parse the data, and keeping time was never a problem, but getting the data out of it was. So check out David Watts on YouTube. You will love it. And what's a good conversation? Nope, can't catch up. Moving on. M.I. Sperry, Mitch Sperry channel on YouTube. He's been building a quadcopter, a 250 quadcopter. This is something I probably won't do as in-depth of a build video as he does, but this is really cool stuff. A beginner's point of view of building a 250 size quadcopter. Awesome platform. I can't wait to build mine. I have it here. There will be a small review, and I picked up some cool tips and tricks, and hopefully I helped out Mitch a little bit. I did throw a comment in to help him out early on, but I think he was totally okay and was off on his own and doing great. So check out his channel. He does a lot of other electronics and IoT stuff. I think he does programming in normal day life. Clever guy, awesome channel, love his stuff. Joseph is here. Hey, Joseph. And I saw a Hey David, but I don't know who that was. David may be here. Anyway, moving on. Can't keep up with the chat. I try. Oh, David is here. Hey, there he is. Hey, David. We just covered your channel a minute ago. Colin Furza. I always pronounce it wrong. I think it's Furza. Awesome, crazy channel. I'll admit, this is my tabloid dessert videos. I watch a lot of tech videos on how to build things and how I can make things better. And Colin's channel, I just watch it for the pure crazy entertainment. His thermite kettle, using thermite to make a pot of tea. Lunacy. Total lunacy, but neat. He does an awesome job. There's a reason he's got 2.1 million subscribers now. He's doing a good job. It's cool. Check it out. Zach Blog, who was here, did his duplicator i3 unboxing. Got himself a new 3D printer. I think Glitch got a new 3D printer as well. Awesome stuff. Thanks for that, Zach. Adafruit Industries channel. I can't say enough about Adafruit. I try to talk about them every week because the content they're putting out is simply incredible. Well, they've started not long ago putting out, Tony D has his own videos now, Tony DeCola, and he does a lot of IoT stuff, really in-depth Python programming, really, really neat stuff. And he did a 1 hour webcast on Raspberry Pi and Python. Really neat stuff. It's an area I'm truly weak in. I'm really suck at Python. I just can't get my head around the indent thing. Awesome stuff. Truly enjoyed it. Tony and Adafruit, God, you guys are doing an awesome job. Love the content they're putting out. I can't say enough about it. Video DSLR tutorial. So for all of you video makers or photography people out there, I know there's a few. This is a channel I've been subscribed to for a long time, and this was a cool one. This relates kind of to the Canon camera I talked about earlier. What Canon DSLR to get for videography in 2016. Really cool for people who are trying to step up their YouTube videos and are looking to get a DSLR to do video. This was a great, awesome overview of all the different Canon models, which I found extremely confusing when I was buying my 70D. Right away, I knew I wanted a 70D just because the people I knew that were using it, but I didn't know why. And I wanted to know what the other models had or didn't have. And it's as simple as do they have flip screen? What autofocus do they use? This was an awesome video. Check it out, guys. I think you'd love it. A channel I just discovered, CNLOHR. I just subscribed and I was blown away. Using ESP8266 to broadcast TV signal, NTSC TV signal. This is hacking at its craziest. Using the same modules we discussed earlier, the ESP8266 $3 Wi-Fi transceiver to broadcast TV signals. Really, really neat hack. I've seen this done with Arduino to do really basic NTSC to a TV. This is just beyond craziness. This thing was able to serve a web page at the same time it was broadcasting its TV signal. I was just blown away. This stuff is above my head by far. I was just blown away. I looked at his GitHub and I tried to make sense of it. I'm like, geez, I need time to digest this. Initially, I couldn't even understand what he was doing. It's a really, really, really neat project. So you can check him out, CNLOHR on YouTube. Glitch is familiar with that channel. Awesome stuff. And Jay watches it too. And he ran himself a Minecraft server on something that fits in a USB port. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole video. When I was scanning through, as I usually do when I subscribe to a new channel, I saw that and I'm like, oh, I gotta see this. And I quick scanned the video and I just shook my head. This guy, I think his channel trailer says that he does things that shouldn't be done. It's pretty accurate, pretty cool, crazy hacks, just deep stuff. And for the dessert, this is a channel not even tech related, but I like watching vlogs, and I thought I should share Grant because I love what he's doing. He does Grant J on YouTube, does a vlog style channel. He is a cinematographer by trade, or a videographer anyway, and he's opened up his own vlogging channel. And if you like channels like Casey Neistat, vloggers like that, you will love Grant's channel. It's thoroughly entertaining content, and it gives me ideas for how to make these videos better, because he really does some neat stuff with the editing and the videography. Totally cool. Thought not tech related, but heck, it's my show, so I can share these things. Okie dokie. I think we're good. Oh, we're gonna run. I'll have to hustle a little bit. We're running a little late. What else we got? There we go. From the shop. Come on. Come on. There we go. Last week, previous to my honeymoon, I got out the Relay Basics video. It was well received, really well received. Good analytics on this video, so I guess I did something right. It was really dumbed down, simplified explanation of relays, and I kind of wish I would have done the video a little different format, because I didn't go into the transistor control on the board that I used in the video, but I think I got the message across. So check it out if you didn't see it. And a little background. So before I went on honeymoon, I had some footage stowed away. I may have mentioned it before. I was going to do some SDR, some software-defined radio stuff, and some Linux installs, virtual machine, some SDR software within Ubuntu Linux, some really cool, getting stepped up for the next level of RF hacking and doing some videos. Well, I lost the footage, and it was on a drive that I formatted, and it was a drive that I thought was garbage, and it turns out it was not. So anyway, I lost all that footage. So when I got back from honeymoon Friday morning, looking through the YouTube comments on the Arduino Relay, it was actually Anya had commented during the week that you thought it would be interesting to have a 3D printer shut off using the relay. Well, this is something I've been planning to do forever. So I started this video at noon on Friday, and I had it final edited by 6 p.m. solid through. By the way, it takes me about an hour for every minute of video I do. That's pretty much how long it takes between all the shooting and editing. So 6 hours, I got it cut, I got it uploaded, and you can find the printer safety system, basically how to use a simple Arduino circuit to control any device, AC or DC. In this case, increase the safety of the 3D printer by adding a smoke detection and temperature monitoring. So I'll maybe expand this project a little later to put extruder monitoring on it, because I need to put it in my 3D printer right beside me. This is something that I have always just been putting off. I needed to make, because I've seen too many pictures lately of people's houses burnt down by 3D printer malfunctions. As most of you know, when your extruder temp sensor fails on a lot of firmwares, the 3D printer will continue to try and heat the extruder, and it runs away until it usually lights fire. So anyway, that's the project that I did. Hopefully you guys liked it. And I also had a video previously on some swag that ATMEL sent me from my little run with the Hackaday prize. It was cool. Just kind of promo swag. It's nice to get some fun stuff. I love the little battery pack they sent. They sent a USB power supply pack. I forget the capacity on it. Love it. I've been using it already. Really cool stuff. Upcoming sneak peek on the channel, guys. I do have a video that's in final editing. This is a request. You guys wanted it? Well, you'll get it. The how I sync the audio and the video for my YouTube videos. Previously, 2 weeks ago, I did how I post-process my audio for my YouTube videos. Well, now, just a quick one on how to bring any off-camera audio. Like I use a digital recorder, but you can use your cell phone and a really basic lav mic or your cell phone microphone for your hands, your earbuds with the mic in it, and record the audio if you're making a video, and then redo the post-processing and then resync it back into your editing. And this video will show you how I do that. It was widely requested, numerous requests for it, so hey, you guys are the boss. You'll get it. As well, I have a video coming up on the Arduino four-wheel drive robot. I'm trying to figure out how to do the final editing and videography on that video. I'm not sure I'm going to capture it. You guys have seen my four-wheel drive robot on the channel ages ago. Well, I updated the code to operate like a Mars rover. I'm actually really happy with it. It's fun to play with. But I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to video it, and I did the final mods to the code last night to make it ready for release. So I can do a video and give that code out free for you guys if you want to make your own Mars robot style robot. Well, I'll give you the info and how to do it. And the kits are dirt cheap to buy now. So David said, what recorder do you use? David, I use the Zoom H4n. I wouldn't advise people to rush out and buy it because it is really expensive. I bought the Zoom H4n for recording. I made my own microphones for recording ultrasonic noise from bearings and high voltage. Yeah, I'm a crazy nerd. I couldn't afford to buy an ultrasonic noise monitoring system because they're silly expensive. So I made my own microphones and ran them through the Zoom H4n, which records at a high enough bit rate that you can downsample it and then either listen to it or plot it on a sonogram. I had it for years now before I was ever doing even remotely decent quality YouTube videos, and now I've put it into service as my off-camera audio recorder, and it is amazing, but they are still really expensive. So yeah, I wouldn't rush out and buy one just because they're so expensive. But if you only want to buy one ever, it's good. It's good to buy. And Glitch is doing some work on his $12 thrift store tracked chassis. So that's funny you mentioned that, Glitch. So the next step, this is why I didn't want to even release this video. What I want is I want to find a cheap toy four-wheel drive big truck. I want like one of them plastic Walmart jobbies that's just big but true four-wheel drive, so I can take all my electronics and port it over to something that'll work in the backyard instead of on my floor. That's my next step. But yeah, that's my departure. And beginner's text said, does anybody know how to use two distance sensors with the new ping library? Yeah, I can't help you on that because I don't even use the new ping library. I bit bash my ultrasonic measuring. It's a manual code you'll see where I turn it on and off. And David said he uses the Zoom H1. Yeah, I think that's a far more reasonable device for most people. The H4n is overkill for what we need. If you want studio quality recording, it's amazing, but it is overkill for YouTube videos. So it works so good though. And Glitch is going to post some Twitter pictures. Awesome. And Beginner's Tech has a video of his four-wheel drive robot. Cool stuff. Post it in the G Plus community if you like. Would love to see it. That's what we do, the I want to see what you're building stuff. Love seeing stuff from you guys. Tech tip of the week. This one, I can't remember whether I've mentioned it before, but this was kind of a big find for me. A long time ago, we used to get notifications of the YouTube channel videos that we subscribe to when they go live. The people that I really enjoy following, I loved getting an email alert when they published a new video. That function kind of died in the previous G Plus migrations and updates. I wanted to show you guys. There is a way to do it. If I haven't told you this already, on any YouTube channel, this little gear icon beside where you've already been subscribed to them, you want to click that. And then this nifty little send me all notifications for this channel will come back up. And by default, they're not all turned off. I still get a couple, or used to get a couple until I re-enabled a whole bunch more. But by default, most of them will be disabled. You click this button and you will get notified when your favorite YouTube content creators publish a video. Finally, it's not broken anymore. I thought that worthy of sharing. Do that for this channel if you like these videos. But really handy thing. I was super stoked to get it back, and it does. If you have the YouTube app on your phone, you'll get, if you have push notifications enabled, you'll get a push notif, which is totally cool, and you watch videos anywhere. Love it. I think we're in good shape, guys. Roydroid said there was no notification when it went live. Yeah, YouTube notifications are horrible. Make sure you go to the channel page and make sure that that's enabled. Otherwise, you won't get them. And even then, it's still not a guarantee. YouTube has a long way. So follow me on Twitter. You'll see my posts on that. And just come here every Monday night and you'll catch us. Awesome stuff. That is it for tonight, guys. We are bang on the 8 o'clock hour here in southwestern Ontario. I missed you guys. This was truly awesome to get back together with you. Awesome stuff in the chat, some project sharing, some ideas sharing. I love it. This is why I do this. The community we have going on, the makeme.org community, is just, you guys are great. I love everything you guys do. I truly value my time with you guys. And I hope to see you next week. We'll get a video out on Friday. And I can't talk about that extra series yet. I want to share what I want to do. One of these days, we'll make some stuff public. Too many projects on the go, guys. Good luck in all your electronics ventures. Thanks for joining tonight. Have a fantastic week. Love you guys.